welcome to the Special Moves Podcast. This is episode 143. My name is Mike Williams. These guys are Jake Kukowski and Liam McKelvey. How you doing, boys?
Hi. I'm all right.
I'm doing very good, thank you. The room is slowly changing, so for the audio listeners, no change, but for people watching, they're thinking, Jake, Jesus Christ, you're picking up more boxes from the back of Asda. And the answer is mind your business, all right? Keep an eye on what happens to the wallpaper in the next couple of weeks.
Exactly. I'm looking forward to seeing the wallpaper developments, because that is
horrific.
A bit of a peak already. Like, I can't see how you can improve that.
I mentioned it last week, I think, but I'm just going to mention it again in case there's anybody new joining us for a change. It acts as a little bit of a Rorschach test for the people at home, because it could be flowers, it could be bloodstains. It's up to you.
Do you know what I'm seeing?
What?
Memorial red poppies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's it. Remember, it was the biggest Remembrance Sunday. But all everyone was talking about was Skyrim. I was fuming, so I did this. Anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. Keeping it classy on the Special Moves Podcast, where we've got an ad read.
Yeah.
About bollocks again.
Yeah, absolutely. So the same rules as last week. Everybody listening, support for the Special Moves Podcast this entire month is brought to you by Manscaped, men's below the waist grooming champions of the world. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels, the perfect package for your perfect package. Manscaped just launched the 4th generation. That's right, the 4th generation trimmer, the lawnmower, all across Europe. And the great news for the Spesh heads all over the world, 20% off and free shipping with the code SPESH at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com using the code SPESH. You can unlock confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Quick story again. I was in Canada last week, so we didn't have a podcast. And I used my little Manscaped bag, which they call the shed, to carry all of my toiletries in, not just genital ones, but, like toothbrush and that. Kind of realised afterwards that you probably shouldn't keep your toothbrush next to the thing that you trim your testicles with. But luckily, because of the precision blades of the weed whacker, I didn't have any leftover hairs in there, which could have caused a horrible pube-to-mouth mishap. So there's that as well. And I've got to tell you that the old ball freshening deodorant, well, I was by myself on the plane, but if I was next to anybody, I would have been very thankful for it. So I want to say again, thanks again to Manscaped for helping me and my genitals travel the world. And I've never felt so good. Like, perfect.
Well, I took it as well. I took that little bag thing as well, and I took the little the trimmer, which is now actually my beard trimmer. Like I have no shame in saying
it's not just for below the waist, is it? Exactly. This is it. Yeah.
Anyway, what I'm using, right? And so I took the little bag and I took the little trimmer down to Cardiff with me. I was watching the rugby in Cardiff. Yeah. Fucking perfect little travel bag. Little Manscaped travel bag. Absolutely. Nice quality. Like none of this translucent plastic bullshit. So you're getting all that. And the best thing about it for me is that you can just charge it before you go, and it lasts for ages. Yeah, so there we go. So it's a good little gift set, actually. You know what I mean? Like if I got that for Christmas of somebody who had no idea what to get me, which is basically everybody. I'd be pretty happy with that. So.
And if you know that they save 20% with code SPESH at checkout, you'd be even happier. So thanks, Manscaped. We'll see you next week for more. I'll see if I can find another penis anecdote for you this week, guys. Leave it to me, and I'll see you next week, innit?
Yeah. If there's one guy who can come up with a bollock in the space of a week, that's it. Jake Kukowski. Right, Liam, get us out of this mess, mate. What have you been playing?
I'm off to the beer now, thank you.
I have played a bit of everything. I've played all the heavy hitters this week, bar one. I've played Forza Horizon 5. I've played Call of Duty Vanguard. I've played Shin Megami Tensei 5. And I've played Halo Infinite multiplayer, which surprise launched to everyone only yesterday? No, 2 days ago, the 15th.
Monday. Yeah.
Can I be really selfish, because I really want to know about Halo more than anything else. So I'd love to hear about that.
There is. So it was meant to come out on December 8th with the Halo Infinite campaign, but for the 20th anniversary of Xbox, Microsoft just did a surprise, here you go everyone, it's an open beta, and it'll all carry over into launch. So it was nice. They just did a bit of an Apex Legends where they were just like, hey everyone, here's a live stream, and now you can all play Halo Infinite if you want. And it is free to play. The multiplayer is going to be free to play for everybody, no matter if you're on PC or Xbox, you're going to be able to play it. You don't need Game Pass or to buy the game. And yeah, it's very small. It's only like a 20 gig download or something, so you can get into it real quick. I've been playing it on the Xbox Series X, And honestly, I have to say, it's really fun. The core like gameplay loop of it, like just for shooting, the movement, the abilities, like it is very, very satisfying. The gunplay especially, like all the weapons sound like really meaty. You got the classic assault rifle, which when you do like a burst and get a headshot and you see their shield explode and then their head explode after it, incredibly satisfying. Great. There's a shotgun in it. One of the best shotguns I've seen in a game recently. It feels great, especially when you're playing it on like a high-end sound system.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like if I remember right, the game modes that are in it at the minute, there's Oddball, which is the one where you pick up the ball, you got to run round. One person has to hold on to it to accumulate points.
By the way, sorry, I can see on Discord a little green light, which implies that my microphone's picking up my dog snoring. I'm really sorry if you can hear it.
That's okay, because that's adorable. But yeah, there's Team Slayer, the classic Halo deathmatch. There's regular Slayer. I think it's got all the standard Halo game modes in it. It's got
Big Team Slayer.
Big Team Slayer. I didn't play that one, yeah. It's got a full-on training mode attached to it, which has got its own like cinematics and story, weirdly enough. You can go into a training arena to learn all the controls. You can each weapon has its own sort of like they're called weapon drills, where you can just practice with all the weapons, so you don't have to wait in a game to get one respawning if you just want to try it out. I'm not sure how many maps are in it. I only got to play 2 maps. One of them was the training area from the tutorial bit, and the other one was like a generic Halo spaceship. Can't remember what it was called, but it was just a spaceship.
I bet whoever's in charge of like coming up with the lore and stuff, these maps is devastated.
They are. I've killed their entire career, and I didn't mean to. But yeah, it's the core gameplay of it is it's really tight, really polished, just feels good to play. Which is more than I can say about some of the other big shooters coming out this season. But the core gameplay, really, really solid. From what I've seen online, it's pretty much like unanimous in agreement, people saying it feels really good to play. The only issues I've seen like online or the battle pass system is a bit shit, where and you don't level up the battle pass through just playing the game and getting XP. You have to complete challenges to progress it. So if you're not good at completing challenges, you're never going to advance the battle pass, which seems a bit harsh. It seems like it's only catering to like a certain skill level of player at that point, which I think they've said they're going to address it when it comes to the full launch, which is only in a couple of weeks anyway. But yeah, it's I'm enjoying it. I can see myself putting quite a lot of time into this, to be honest. Because I haven't properly played Halo multiplayer since like Halo Reach back on the 360 was the last one I put like a decent amount of time into. But yeah, it's like I'm looking forward to seeing what the campaign's like, because the campaigns have always been like the highlights for me when I play the Halo games.
When is that due then?
December 8th.
Okay.
And that's it. I'm looking forward to that one. I think 343 Industries have done a good job. Especially after, the whole underwhelming reveal of it at the Xbox event. Whenever that was, like 2 years ago. Do you remember? Like, they had all the memes about and stuff like that about it.
It looked bad. Yeah, it didn't look good.
Yeah. It's I wouldn't say the game looks miles better than that initial reveal. It does look better, but not miles better. There's still some like weird facial animation stuff going on. Bit Uncanny Valley sort of thing going on with some of the character models. But yeah, like other than that, I also say is like the game itself is really tight. It's really well made. I think it's going to do some good things when it.
You know what? How ballsy is it to say that like they dropped the Halo multiplayer for free out of nowhere? Like with no, like when was the last big shooter that did that properly? Was it Apex Legends? It was just like a complete surprise for free, and like. I wonder how well Apex would have done if it was like hyped up for weeks and months and it was shown off in dev diaries and, you got to see the team from Monaco and Paris and, all these random places trying to make you care and when really the game does the talk. And I think that like it was really slick that it just came out of nowhere. I'm watching the gameplay now. I purposely sometimes wait till Liam's talking about stuff to look at the gameplay for the first time as well, so I'm getting everything at once.
They seem very confident in this one.
And
it's already had like
they know, don't they? You just they know, and you sort of, if you pay any kind of attention to the stuff, you sort of know that they know as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, they seem.
Yeah, I think the classic, the classic at the moment is obviously like hype it up, do a teaser for a teaser, treat it like it's bloody Marvel Spider-Man or something like that. But I think because Halo got absolutely slapped up online, like it was dissected and people were memeing on it, like you said, any room for breathing, any room for like, if you show the gameplay before people can play the game, people will be like complaining online and this and that. So to just show people the game and let them have a go of it with pretty much like nothing to lose is really sweet. I think it's cool. And I think it's a very interesting time to do this 1 week before the biggest shooter of the year. In between the two biggest shooters of the years.
Yeah.
Namely Call of Duty and Battlefield. So, yeah, very interesting choice of release window, especially because December the 8th actually doesn't really have much going on. So, yeah, cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I want to play this because I sort of sparked up Destiny 2 again, and I like it. I just like that. Every now and again, just kind of get the itch for sort of a sci-fi FPS. So
I was tempted to install it, but I decided not to, solely on the fact that I assumed incorrectly now that it would be at least 80 gig or something silly. Like Age of Empires was like way like, and Gears of War 5.
That's a point. Like, how is Halo multiplayer thing 20 gig, right? But Age of Empires,
I'm pretty sure it's like 20, 25.
Yeah, well, if you're 100% wrong and it's 40, that's still not 80. You know what I mean?
True.
So, and like Gears of War 5 is like 100 odd gig, isn't it? So do you know what I mean?
Gears is massive.
So
Age of Empires was 220 gig because it was just limited down the 4K thing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Just it could have been made in 2008 that game, and it's still like fucking anyway. All right, so that's Halo. That's what Microsoft they're on a hot streak, aren't they? Like Forza, the reviews for Forza.
Oh,
I'm really interested in playing this. I'm so interested in playing it. I was kind of thinking about getting an Xbox Series. X, but I thought that'd be totally.
I played it on the Series X over the weekend, and I'm not into these car games at all, right? And it's bloody brilliant. Like, I don't know if this is any other Forza games, so I could sound like a right goon, but the best thing for me is that it's got this bloody Prince of Persia Sands of Time mechanic where you can just.
It's been in it for a while.
Yeah, it's ace. So it's just like set piece. The first like level is just like a tutorial when you just jump it. Like the Revenant, where it just goes from like it's like the kill cam follows everybody. It was a bit like that, but with cars. You're zooming here, there, and everywhere, and
it's like
reversing.
Cars dropping out of cargo planes, shit.
Yeah, landing in front of you, and then suddenly you're that car and stuff.
I love it. But, what? Probably some creative director somewhere along the line probably said, we're like the Revenant. And they went, I think I got it. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I completely forgot about that. But yes, when I was waiting for another game that I'll talk about in a minute, I was playing Forza Horizon. Yeah, so that was nice. Mm-hmm. And Liam, you're the expert, to be honest.
Yeah. But waiting for you to talk, Liam.
I don't know how much of it I've played. I really like it so far, but it's it feels like Forza Horizon 4 just in a new setting. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because Forza Horizon 4 was brilliant and was like one of the best races ever released up until that point. So when they've just done that again, but in a nice new exotic setting, this time Mexico, it's definitely like an iteration, but I think that's okay, because their foundation is already one of the most solid races in recent years. So it's good. The newest thing in Forza Horizon 5 is they've changed up the like story campaign mode. So this time it's done like a music festival where you're expanding the festival to different parts of the map. Some of them you'll have the Baja one, which is all off-road dirt racing. You'll have one that's like street racing with Ferraris and hypercars and shit like that. You'll have ones that are, like rough and tumble 4x4 racing through the jungles. The map is pretty huge. There's one race I did where it's called the Goliath, and it takes you around the entire like coast of the map, like from coast to coast, and it takes 15 real world minutes to race around the entire map. So it's a big map. Plenty of cars. There's over 500 cars. There's cars for everyone. If you want to race like your Ferraris and stuff, and your Porsches and your Lamborghinis, they're all in there. You want to do 4x4 like dune buggies and wagons, they're all in there. Or if you want to be an idiot like I am and just drive around the Ford Fiesta, which is what I do in real life anyway, you can do that in Forza Horizon 5 as well. It's got a great selection of cars. Visually, it's fantastic. It's got support for Dolby Vision, HDR on the Xbox Series X. And my God, it looks great. Playing it, and then if you've got like a good sound system as well, like I have, just getting slapped in the face by the like bassy soundtrack whenever you start a race is amazing. Don't know why. Felt amazing when I just like burnt out, accelerated off the starting line while Run DMC. It's like that was just blaring. Fantastic. One of the best gaming moments I've had in ages. It's just a game that makes me happy. It's a pure joy to play. It controls really well, looks fantastic. You can tell the developers had a great time making it. It's a really fun game all round. And if you're into your arcade racing games, definitely one of the best available right now. You can get it on PC as well. So, there's plenty of ways to play it, and it is really, really good.
I might do that. I might, I've got a PC. I might not be silly and just play it on PC. I just sort of thought, it seems like, playing a racing game just seems like sort of a living room.
It's a good living room game.
So I'll probably have a look at it on PC.
It's good.
Game Pass, which is great.
It sounds stupid, but I just vibe really well with the Forza Horizon games. It's great. They always put me in like a fantastic mood whenever I play them.
Get that on the box, man. Get that on the box.
I vibe with this. That's my official seal of approval.
Jake, you've been playing. Forza Horizon made Liam happy. What did Elden Ring make you make?
Cry. I played Elden Ring, baby. So, like I mentioned earlier, I was away this week, and I got an invite to the network test, and I had to ask my boss if I could go to his house on a Saturday to play it, because I don't know what it is. I don't know, but the game Elden Ring launches in Feb, but they're doing a very, very select, limited like beta they're calling it a network test, and it was lots of 3-hour windows between Thursday and Monday last week. They were picking 2 times a day where you could play the game for 3 hours, and it would be odd time. So I was in the East Coast. So it was like one of the network tests was 3 a.m. till 6 a.m. Another one was like 5 a.m. till 8 a.m. So this one was like an afternoon. So Saturday afternoon rolls around. We installed a game. I'm playing on PS5, right? And, I do as much social engineering as humanly possible to know that everyone else in the room isn't going to ask for a go. And away we go. I start this Elden Ring, and I'm thinking, okay, it's the network test, so how much of it's going to be about the online? And I can honestly say I don't think a single person playing that game was bothered about the online. It's just to see what it is. So
can you explain the online bit to me? Why do they need to do a network test?
No idea, to be completely honest with you. So it plays exactly like Dark Souls. Elden Ring, sorry, for those who are completely uninitiated, is the follow-up game in the Dark Souls, Soulsborne, Sekiro legacy that From Software have been creating. It's the start of a new trilogy of games focused on like Dark Souls like combat. It's made by the Dark Souls people, but it's its own story, right? It's open world. So I don't know if I was expecting there to be anything different online, but the network functionality works exactly the same as Dark Souls. You've got notes on the floor.
Okay.
You can see the ghosts of people who have died. You can summon invaders. You can summon spirits to help you. Your spirits can summon spirits. And that's all I figured with the online, because I did test the network. I did indeed test the network, but I was actually poking around to see if there was some sort of maybe like more permanent co-op functionality or something for like us to play or something. But seems like it's the same as the Souls games. Okay. So what did the network test consist of? Well, like a surprising amount, to be completely honest. You had like this little tutorial dungeon where you learnt the moves, and then it gave you the Skyrim moment, it gave you the Fallout moment. You know, the world opens up and you're in a huge open world, and it's like what you imagine it's going to be like that Breath of the Wild feeling. You look at somewhere, you want to go there, you go there. And it does this very cool thing that I've not seen much. And I don't know how much of this is scripted or how much of it's procedural, but there's bosses in the open world roaming about sort of thing, but it doesn't feel like an MMO where like, you know what I mean? Like, for example, I was, the open world, the area that I was at, or maybe it's the name of the whole world, I don't know. It's called Limgrave, yeah? So I'm out there, I'm in Limgrave, and I look to my right and I see a cliff, and there's a dedicated jump button, obviously. So I'm like, all right, I'll have a little hop down this cliff, and I find myself in this like abandoned like ruin full of like, you know, the enemies that kind of look like at the beginning of Dark Souls 3 on the Greater Wall. Like there was like little weird peons wearing rags praying. So I'm skulking about. There's stealth mechanics in this one. I'm playing, of course, though, with a huge giant weapon, bastard sword, yeah? But I'm skulking about just to see how the skulking feels. I'm slapping all these guys to pieces. And then I see in the distance a couple of them praying, yeah? By this big burning effigy. So I walk towards this effigy. Suddenly, whoop, giant dragon comes out the sky, torches everything in front of me. Thank you. So some giant dragon, some Skyrim shit. I'm playing this on the 10th anniversary of Skyrim. So some giant dragon
spitting on the Skyrim's grave.
Yeah,
shit about you, Skyrim.
Yeah. So yeah, this dragon fucking swoops down. Suddenly, boss bar comes up. Boom. Oh my god! I just found the dragon boss. So very, very cool. He beats me up and I run away. So then I decide like I'm going to start at the bonfire and I'm going to go the way I guess it was intended. Suddenly, I see another boss, some horse guy. So I fight him a couple of times. He kills me. Everyone in the room's looking at me like, maybe you don't have to fight him yet. But then using that exact same beautiful feeling that you get when you're playing Souls, you start figuring out, okay, maybe I should go to his shield arm. The thing about this that is really interesting, though, yeah, is it's got like loads of weapons and loads of weapon types. And you unlock abilities. You know, like in Dark Souls 3, did you guys ever use the weapon arts? Like some of your weapons had like the abilities. I actually never really used them, but some of your weapons had special. Yeah, like some of you know, one of your swords, it could shoot air out of it, or, you know, you could imbue it with fire. Well, I was using this sword and this guy was like battering me. So I thought, if I die again, I'll give up. So I died. I thought, okay, I'll push on. I killed this like enemy and he dropped a lance, like a spear. So I thought, oh, that's got long range. I'll go back to this boss. So I killed this boss, yeah? And he dropped his ability for me. So I could imbue my lance with this ability. So you unlock like, almost like in Sekiro, how you unlock like arts. They're completely optional, but you can unlock like, you know, different moves like that. You can do that with this. I found the crystal lizard in the game. You know, like those little lizards?
Yeah.
I killed one. And I got a fucking well good art. So it was a completely random little lizard in the middle of nowhere. And I got like, I got something that made my lightning, my spear lance thing shoot lightning. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I could have well easily missed that. So there's a cool carrot on a stick for exploring. And it's that you can find things that will make your build better. So I did find a couple of arts that weren't compatible with the lance. They only worked with like a sword or scimitar or wand, but the build possibility is going to be insane. Like you can imagine that there's going to just be like guides on where on the map to find the best thing for the best weapon for the amount of like openness of the game is like mind-boggling. This network test alone had 12 bosses. Like it's
not bad.
Yeah, so there was these mini, I'll just call them mini bosses, you know, like in Sekiro, you've got these like little guys with health bars and this. But there was a couple of real legit bosses and they were bloody hard, like. That it's good. It's never unfair, you know what I mean? But you've got that where you're having to like apply like real world logic. I'm like, maybe I should use fire on this guy, and you do it and it works, and oh my god. And there was a boss later on down the line where I couldn't really figure it out, and then I read a little note on the floor, and it's like, oh, use this like piercing attacks. So I got the lance back out. But my god, you get a horse, a spirit steed. Mm-hmm. What the hell was its name? It's got some quite shit name, for a horse. Let me tell you, I want to say it's something like Twilight or something weird. It's some weird name for a horse, a panorama, some random fucking word. And you're like, what? Anyway, whatever. You get this horse, this ghost horse.
In Zelda called? That's a shit name for a horse.
Epona.
Yeah.
They've got the horses or whatever in it. But yeah, all right, hang on. And we need to get to the bottom of this. Elden Ring horse name. You're going to say, what the fuck did you say Twilight for? It's called Torrent. Torrent. Is that better or worse?
LimeWire.
Yeah, exactly. iMesh. Right, yeah, so yeah, we got Torrent.
Very good. It's warming on me. Torrent.
We got Torrent the horse.
It's a bad first impression, but I kind of like it.
So you summon Torrent, like you got your Estus flasks. They're called flasks. I don't think they're called Estus flasks, but they're called flasks. And same as Dark Souls 3, you've got your magic ones and you've got your health ones, and you can like distribute how you want. And then you've got this item that you press and it just summons a fucking horse. You can jump off. I came back to that dragon on my horse. Suddenly, I had a feeling I'd never felt before, but it felt so right. I have a spear, a shield, and a horse, and I'm fighting a dragon, and I'm charging it down. It gave me, it's like that, but it's in a Souls environment. And of course, I could have used my bastard sword, or I could have been a caster and used my magic. But the idea of having just the natural flow of things, I had a shield, a spear, Torrent the horse, and I'm riding down this bloody dragon. And then you beat the dragon and you unlock another ability. So it's got it all. Like there was a lot to it. It was exactly as I wanted it. Did I hear loads of regional British accents? Yeah, someone from the West Country was asking me if I could go to a cursed cave and fight a beast. There was like people laughing at me and telling me I shouldn't go on. There's like a dungeon in the game where you can approach it multiple ways. Like I don't know if you saw that in the gameplay trailer, but it's true. There's a giant dungeon, and you can like go in different ways depending on where in the map you enter it from, and different routes have got different, pluses and minuses and stuff. You can literally walk in through the front entrance if you want. But all in all, like it's what you want. Really, it's what you imagine it's going to be. And that's a really crazy thing to say, because you probably imagine it to be bloody amazing, and it is. So I couldn't fault it. I couldn't find a single thing I didn't like about it, because the world's so dense. That's the thing that's mad. The world doesn't feel like, it felt like the Witcher 3's world, which is almost a dangerous thing to say, but it did. Everything seemed to be there for a purpose. And the map is bloody massive. Yeah. I think it was something like 4% of the map in this network test, and I could have easily spent another 6-7 hours in there.
I'm fucking dying for someone to shake up the open world shit. Do you know what I mean? And I know, Nintendo had a good whack at it with the Breath of the Wild, and that you can already see how that's influencing stuff, But I've been trying to play Far Cry, and I just fucking give up. I've put it on eBay to sell it, because it's just there's just health bars everywhere, and it's you say massive map, and it just makes me go, oh, for fuck's sake.
Well,
if anybody can make it interesting and make me want to play it, it's from software.
I was trying to figure it out, because do you know what it is about these open worlds? You just don't care what's in one corner of it or another.
It's gone. The magic is gone of that.
But with The Witcher, it had just the right amount of question marks on a map to make me go, oh, go on then. I'll go westward and I'll find that. Yeah. And Breath of the Wild, everything seems like it's there for a purpose. Well, this is like that. There wasn't a single part of that map that wasn't intriguing to me. I could see this winding cove in the distance, and I'm like, normally I'd be like, oh, I'll go in there and there'll be a crafting item. Ghost of Tsushima, there'll be a fox, there'll be a shrine, there'll be a crafting item. I went in here on this fucking game, there was a whole dungeon in there, 2 bosses.
Yeah, that's what you're hoping that it won't have, But you can't see them doing it either. Like in a Ubisoft game, you'll do one activity and they'll be like, thank you for doing that this one time. You know what? This island is covered in 27 more of these things that need doing. please do that.
Exactly.
I'll do that.
So, you want to fight the bosses because you're unlocking the abilities and you're getting experience or souls.
All the bosses are going to be, hopefully, FromSoft bosses, right? Like different, weird characters in their own right. Backstories.
Yeah, the stories. Yeah, exactly. And you know that the lore's deep in it. It was the perfect taste. Like, I know for a fact now this game is what I wanted it to be, because I played it, and I honestly, even in that little demo, I felt like a kid playing a demo where you could just rinse it over and over again. I could have spent 20 hours in there, man. I can't believe how good it is. And if you look online, it's 100% the same. Like, this is already like, good luck to any other game coming out, because Jesus. Yeah. So Elden Ring.
It's even got you talking like a From Software character. You said it is the perfect taste. Do you know what I mean? Just laugh at the end of that.
Absolutely, yeah. The perfect.
You're an NPC, mate. You're an NPC.
It's a morsel, a fine morsel.
A delectable morsel. Right, Liam, have you got anything else before I do some emails?
I'll quickly mention, I won't say Shin Megami Tensei because I feel like I've not even scratched the surface of that game yet. But I've played a lot of Call of Duty Vanguard, which has sort of flown under the radar recently. Probably what with the news of Activision being an absolutely terrible company full of absolutely terrible human beings. But as far as Call of Duty goes, it's one of the better ones. It's got a good campaign. The campaign is very classic, full of set pieces. Back in World War II, you get to go D-Day in France. You get to do... Well, not D-Day, like the airborne equivalent of D-Day, which is like 2 or 3 days before D-Day, whatever. Get to like fly planes in the Pacific Theater, sneak through jungles in Japan. You get to like go to the Eastern Front in Russia, play as like a sniper who's very like enemy at the gates style, hiding in the snow, taking out Nazi generals from hidden apartment blocks. And who is the last character? I can't remember who the last character is. That's how memorable it is, obviously. But it's all like wrapped up in this meta narrative of it's meant to be like the first ever special forces unit sort of thing. So you're like, each character has their own individual personality. You got, the hard-ass British captain who's
of course,
who's like a Cambridge educated man. The like cold, brutal Russian sniper lady. The sarcastic Australian man.
That's good. That's a good one.
Yeah, and the Yankee Doodle USA American type guy. But yeah, the campaign, it's solid. It takes about like 6-7 hours to get through, which isn't bad as far as shooter campaigns go. It's a fun little like afternoon diversion. But of course, as always, the meat of the game is the multiplayer, which is what I've spent the most time in. And I don't mean this to sound like an insult, but it is basically Modern Warfare 2019 with a World War II skin put on it, in that it feels exactly the same to play. It's got all the same mechanics, like mounting your gun around corners and stuff. You can slowly open doors or kick them open. But, it is Call of Duty. It's solid. It is the McDonald's of gaming, as I think Jake said in our WhatsApp once. It's quick, it's disposable, but you know what you're getting every time, and you'll have your fill when you play it. I've got to max rank in multiplayer, so I'm sort of like done with it for now. It's got a lot of maps, to be fair. It's got over 20 maps at launch. Some of them being a mix of old and new. Like, they brought back some fan favourite ones, like Castle from Call of Duty World at War. Right. They've like remastered that, remade it into a new map and done it up for the modern engine. But yeah, it feels good to play. It's only 92 gig as well, which is shockingly small for a Call of Duty game. I've only played the campaign and multiplayer. I haven't played any zombies, just because I'm a bit burnt out on it at the minute.
I find the zombies mode in COD now like just totally exhausting. Like, it's just fucking you go into it and it's like, if we started playing a game and we lose each other within like 2 minutes. There's fireworks going off all over the place. Like, fucking, the progression thing. I don't know. It just. I think it could do with being. I haven't played this one, so I don't know what it's like. But it could do with being like stripped back a little bit. I think, and being a bit more lean and.
Well, oddly enough, you say that the zombies mode in Vanguard was getting a bit of shit online precisely because they took things out. Right. The fan base didn't like that. I can't say for sure. I've not played for zombies mode.
Well, that's the one thing I keep thinking whenever I play it. I always think, fucking hell, there's too much going on in this. But also, that's probably exactly what Call of Duty's.
It's what they want.
Fans want, and it's too much shit going on.
So I like it a lot more than I did Cold War. I was a bit meh on Cold War. But this one, I enjoy it quite a bit more. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's just another Call of Duty, and by next November, everyone will have moved on and forgot about this one. I think more people were excited that this one just brought a new map for Warzone. That seems to have overshadowed the actual game itself completely. But yeah, it's a solid game. It'll probably sell gangbusters this Christmas. I was only called a few racial slurs by 12-year-olds while I was playing it. So a step above Cold War, where it felt like every match I played, I was getting abused by some angry teenager who's hyped up on Rockstar. But yeah, it's good, it's solid, but it is Call of Duty. You sort of you know what you're getting at this point.
Okay, let's do some emails then. If you want to send us an email, the address is dearspecialmoves@gmail.com. It's dearspecialmoves@gmail.com. Thanks for everybody who sent some emails in over the last couple of weeks. This one is from Felipe in Switzerland, who says, Hey gamers, I've been playing Mount & Blade Warband for the last couple of weeks, and I am addicted to it. The game has potato graphics. It came out over 10 years ago. It is a bit buggy, and it's missing so many details and quality of life functions. But the freedom that it gives you is insane. You can start from nothing and later on have a super expensive troop of 100 cavalry that destroys everything. You can be a bandit, a mercenary, a rebel, or a lord who owns castles, or even become a king. There's nothing out there like it. Big publishers keep following the same trends and failing. Looter shooters and games as a service keep showing up only to crash and burn immediately, like Anthem and Avengers and so on. Warband, a very old cult indie game, is still averaging 3,500 players on Steam. It has an all-time peak of 32,000 players. Avengers had 28,000. The average is now just 500 players. That's Avengers, I assume. The new Mount & Blade game, Bannerlord, which is still in early access, had a peak of 250,000 players. Yeah. It almost broke Steam when it released, and it still has a healthy amount of people, about 10,000, playing every day ahead of its 1.0 release. So why do big publishers insist on using the same tired trends that seem to almost never work out when indie games with barely any money behind them work so well? Is it because it's hard to monetize a Mount & Blade game, but it is easy to monetize Avengers? Regards, Felipe.
Well, Mount & Blade Bannerlord is actually published by Ravenscourt, which is Koch Media, in the top 5 biggest publishers. But you know, Mount & Blade 2 was indie, though, to be fair to you, Felipe. But, I mean, yeah, it's... and to be completely honest with you, I'm pretty sure Koch only picked it up after it was doing some numbers. So,
but I don't think Mount & Blade, when it came out, was anything more than...
No, it was. They weren't pushing it like a For Honor, were they? But just some random Turkish guys, isn't it? Like 8 Turkish guys, I think. I'm pretty sure that's it. I'm pretty sure it's like 8 Turkish guys who made that. Okay. You know, it's... yeah... do you know what? I played the second one and it was really doing it for me. I put some good hours into it, like on Steam, and then I say good hours, it's probably like 30, which for me on Steam is good because I just hate sitting on my computer. But I got whatever you just said, Warband, was it? It was on Game Pass, yeah. So I the thing that was funny about it is I remember putting it on in Game Pass. It looked like a potato, you're right. But the funny thing was, most of the things I like about Mount & Blade 2 is in that. And that was like, I think that's like 10 years or something like that before.
So Bannerlord is the newest one.
Bannerlord's number 2, isn't it? Actually, yeah. Warband is basically the old. Might be like 1.5 or something.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, it's decent. And yeah, I love.
It's an interesting point, isn't it? Because Steam is. We've talked about this a lot, haven't we? Like Steam bait sort of games that are just sort of like, what is that even really? But it just becomes a huge hit on Steam, and it just stays like that for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And then something like a game, games as a service, or like that Destiny sort of model. Just once that happened, look how many games have tried that afterwards, and it just seems like a difficult thing to copy. Like, why is that the thing that they're trying to copy? But maybe it's because like something like Bannerlord or Mountain Blade is like that is its audience. Like, it's never going to get any bigger than that.
Yeah.
But because everybody who wants to play that is probably already playing it.
It's definitely
something like Avengers. Everybody could possibly, could feasibly get, like, kids and everything could get into that. Do you know what I mean? Like, as a product, they probably see like the potential money they could make if it became a huge thing.
With what I was saying about this being random Turkish guys, it's more that, like, I feel like Avengers was like properly like a want, like, okay, we want to cash in on it. But I feel like Mountain Blade was made out of a need. Like, these guys were making it because they wanted a game like it. And like, from what I understand, like, they're pretty chill. Like, the first game, the very first Mountain Blade's Paradox now. Paradox picked it up, gave them a chance. Then after Warband, they've given you can license for free, as far as I know, the game engine. Yeah. Because they just want other people to make games like it. I don't think anyone's really taken them up on that, but you can, if you're a developer, use that. So
there's definitely like Warband there's loads of mods, like there's a mod that converts it to Star Wars and a mod that converts it to Game of Thrones, and there was like a DLC for it which made it all like musket firing. Napoleonic era.
Yeah. Yes.
Sort of thing. So it's pretty like, people are having fun with what they could do with it.
Hey, Felipe, wait till you find out about fucking Total War. That's the only thing in scope to this, I think, that's like huge. But even then, I guess the RPG element's really taken out. Well, you really do play a role, I guess, in Total War. I think
there's an RPG now, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you sit down and you're. I feel like I role play on that more than anything else because I don't think of myself at all. I think about what my people need.
Absolutely,
what my armies need.
I am the dwarf now. I am this fucking.
Exactly. You're a warlord, exactly.
What does it mean?
Yeah, that aspect of it. Whereas, I remember Mountain Blade going around and doing just like cool stuff that, maybe if it was like a Ubisoft special, they would have been like, you can buy the sword pack or whatever. But it's, I love when you get a little game like that. That's, I say a little game. Clearly, it's not little, but you know what I mean. I love it when you get a little mini genre. It's like a little genre in itself, isn't it? And stuff like that's really special.
A lot of that sort of shit in it, and all that fucking
faster than light, whatever.
And all that
exactly. Yeah, RimWorld and all. Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's a good email. Thanks, Felipe. If anybody else has got any emails, send them in to dsspecialmoves@gmail.com. Whatever you want to talk about, like Felipe there. Let's do the new games, and there's quite a lot coming out this week.
Cool.
Well, two huge ones anyway. Is it two? Maybe there's more. So. These are the releases for the week of the 15th of November. So we're recording this podcast. The podcast comes out on the 18th. So there's a few days that have already been. On the 16th, which was Tuesday, we had Grow, Song of the Evertree, out on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. You boys know anything about this?
Nope.
Never heard of it, no.
Hextech Mayhem, a League of Legends story, is out on PC and Switch, which is a rhythm game, apparently.
No,
a League of Legends story.
A rhythm game as well.
There's another one, Ruined King, a League of Legends story.
Yeah, that's the one I know.
Yeah,
that's a tactical RPG, which is on PC, Switch, PS4, PS5.
Going all in at the minute.
Arcane.
They got a massive Netflix show and everything. They're going all in on it.
It's crazy as well, right? But okay, cool. Shouts out to them guys.
Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1 is out on PC, PS5, and Series X.
Is it ironic? Is it an ironic chapter one?
The frog.
I think it's like a reboot.
Yeah, okay. It's the guys who made The Sinking City, isn't it? That Frogwares.
It's they made all the other Sherlock games as well. This is just like their reboot in the franchise, I think.
Okay.
So that's cool. Surviving the Aftermath is out on Nintendo Switch, which I had a quick look at it. It's like it's a Paradox game, I think, but it just seems like some sort of a zombie sort of. Maybe there's no zombies, but I don't know. It sort of looked alright. It's one of them games that if it wasn't on a Switch, I wouldn't have even thought about it. But because it is,
Surviving the Aftermath.
The Waylanders is out on PC, which is an RPG.
Can't say I've heard of that one either.
These are all on Tuesday the 16th, by the way.
Bloody hell.
Moving on to the 17th, which is Wednesday. Final Fantasy VII, The First Soldier, is just a mobile game, is out on iOS and Android.
Yeah, the Battle Royale one.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't know what to think about this. I'll give it a try, because it's Final Fantasy, and I'm legally obligated to try every Final Fantasy game.
It is legally.
So I'll try it. I've got no hopes for it, but who knows? It could be good. Might surprise me. Doubt it, but I'll give it a go.
And then Clang 2 is out on the same day, the 17th.
Is that Clang with a K or with a C?
With a K.
Thought so.
Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series X is another rhythm game.
It's a lot of rhythm games.
Big week for rhythm games.
Yeah.
Our time has come. Okay.
And then on the 18th, which is the day of the podcast today, Thursday, Microsoft Flight Simulator Game of the Year Edition is out on PC and Series X. I don't know what this adds. I don't know if you guys have looked into this at all.
No. What can it add?
Just to let you know, guys, I'm downloading Final Fantasy VII The First Soldier right now on my phone. It currently has an average of 2.8 out of 5 stars on the Google Play Store. So we're in for a treat.
Yeah.
Okay. And
that's funny that he's got in there straight away. He is legally obligated after all.
I am.
That's funny.
All right, and
then... sorry. Did you really want to know? I wanted to let you know what that I do know what's in the Game of the Year edition, and the answer is that there's some fantastic hand-painted planes being added. For those plane heads out there, it's the Boeing FA-18 Super Hornet, the Pilatus PC-6. I'm not going to really carry on, but it's eight incredibly detailed Swiss planes apparently being added. So,
but you're a mug if you expect Jake to read them all. Fuck you. Right. Okay, and then on the 19th, which is Friday,
main event. Yeah.
2 pretty big games. Battlefield 2042 is out on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. This is the Battlefield sequel that we have been waiting for. Nice EA game, but apparently it's a pile of shite or something.
That's paraphrasing. That's actually paraphrasing, Liam.
I did actually say it's a pile of shite. So it's been out in the super special. If you give us an extra 30 quid, you can play it right now, early access version, since last Friday. If you pony up for the gold edition or whatever they call it. And it's been a bit of a disaster. There's been server issues, servers disconnecting, game crashing on consoles, just the classic Battlefield of like helicopters falling through the world and stuff like that, animation glitches. So a usual Battlefield launch by the sounds of it. But yeah, there's also just been a bit of everyone seems to be a bit feeling cold on the game from what I've read online, and I have to agree with them. I played a bit of the because you can get the 10-hour trial through EA Play, which you get if you've got Game Pass Ultimate. So I did that. I put it on my Xbox and had a quick go, and it didn't like generate any excitement in me whatsoever, which was weird for a Battlefield game. So yeah, I can't say my hopes are high for it, but that's just me personally. Everyone else might be super excited for it.
I feel like DICE do it every time.
We played what did we play?
The open beta.
Yeah. So and I think from what I remember, all we were talking about was the UI because it's how it was. And it didn't give me a very good first impression. I I'm really looking forward to this. This is the first game I've like pre-ordered essentially in a long time.
I was talking on the weekend about this, where me and Liam were talking about it just minutes before we started recording. It sounds bad, but every time DICE release a game, I think DICE have lost it. Like, there's no way like this is gonna, and they somehow claw it back. I think back to like some of my favorite memories of shooters over the past couple of years, and I really loved that Battlefront 2, what they were doing to it. Like, especially even just last year, like a year and a half ago, I was playing it. Battlefield 5, I think, was in a fantastic place a good year ago.
We've played that a lot.
Yeah, I'd say that's one of the best times I've had playing some shooting games this year. And so Battlefield 2042 is going to be absolutely, when it came out, and then I just know that it'll come clawing back. Like, it just seems weird that that portal mode is the only thing that's got people talking in a nice way, because you can play like the old maps, but you can play the new modes and stuff like that and stuff. So yeah, I'll see. I guess they're just like doing that in hopes that there's gonna be an amazing fan-made game mode generated from it, and it just seems all a bit 2007, like, you know what I mean? But
yeah, it does. Yeah, it's a bit Far Cry 2, isn't it? But the idea that they have like dismantled the class system, which is basically a fundamental part of why Battlefield
absolutely
is really starting to bother me. Like just the thought that I don't know who the medic is properly. Like, who's the guy who can like chuck me health back and revive me? Do I need to be the medic? Like, really? Because I know it's always had this thing of like somebody, people play a medic but they don't really revive people. I know that it's always kind of had that, but it's kind of that thing, but emphasized now. Like, maybe the guy who's got a medic is too busy grappling hooking on top of some fucking shipping containers to be a sniper, but not with a sniper rifle. Like,
you couldn't be more right. Like, you're exactly on it. I play medic normally, and I just want to find a home for me syringes.
We know each other, don't we? Yeah, exactly. And I'll be at home. Do you know what I mean? So Battlefield 2042. Is coming out on the 19th. And then Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl.
Yeah.
Which, all right, Liam, explain this to me, because I thought this was a new game.
Explain this Pokemon there. Okay. Piplup. What's this Piplup?
Piplup's the boy. He's the best.
I thought you'd like it.
I did. Yeah. Don't make me get my Piplup plushie out.
Don't threaten me with a good time, Liam.
So Pokemon, it's a remake. It's not a new game. It's a remake of Diamond and Pearl, which were the first DS ones. Gen 4 it was, if I remember right. Okay. Commonly regarded as one of the best generations by a lot of fans. So when it was announced we were getting a remake, people were well excited until they saw the art style and the very low looking production value. As is sort of becoming typical in recent Pokemon fashion, it doesn't look like they're putting the most effort into these games. But this one is actually being developed by an external company that's not Game Freak. So it could be better. Who knows? Copies are already out there, like in the wild, people getting them early for reviews, or they've got connections at like retail, so their mates have been like slipping them a copy early and stuff like that. I won't say anything because I've like been looking at the leaks and stuff, but I won't say anything in case of people, being wary of spoilers. But at its core, it is a remake of Diamond and Pearl, which I would imagine the gameplay mechanics are largely the same, but they've been updated to take into account the more modern meta of Pokemon. But it's a remake in a chibi style, so it's got that cutesy looking anime aesthetic to it, which bothers a lot of people. I'm not really bothered by it, but I know a lot of people don't like that style, which is fair. It is sort of grating. But I don't know what else to say about them, to be honest.
It looks like a fucking GameCube game.
It does a bit.
Yeah.
If they popped this out on the GameCube back in the day when everyone was absolutely desperate for a 3D style Pokemon, people would be the characters look like the bloody GameCube Harvest Moon. Like, I'm looking at it right now.
It does a bit, yeah.
They did the thought of this 18 years ago.
Yeah, well, they did, and they just went nah. But because like everyone was doing 3D then, it looks cool. But yeah, I was surprised to find out that in the poker sphere that the 4th gen is considered like
it's one of the best, yeah,
one of the better ones. So I was tempted to go in for it, but then I remembered I only played like the first 2 gyms of Sword and Shield. So are you going to get it, Liam?
Oh yeah, this is also another one of my legally obligated franchises.
It is.
It's written in my life contract, so I have to play it. But yeah, it's like, but I do fully admit that I am very lenient on like the Pokemon franchise, and I can understand why a lot of fans are like pissed about it, because it does on the surface seem like Game Freak just don't give a shit. They're just pumping out the lowest value, quickest product they can make because they know people will buy it. So there's no real incentive to. Well, I suppose that's why we're doing Pokemon Legends, but who knows how that's going to turn out because that's not out till next year. But yeah, I'm going to get it because I really do like Diamond and Pearl and Platinum, which was like the definitive edition version of that gen.
Yeah.
I really like that gen. It is one of my favorite. It's probably my second favorite one after Gen 2. There's loads of good Pokemon I like in it. I'm going to play it. I'm probably going to like it. I'm probably going to have a good time.
Cool.
But yeah, that won't. And it's probably not going to address any of the issues that fans have with the franchise. But yeah, it's another Pokemon game after all.
No.
Okay, so those are the new games for this week. I'll tell you what came out recently, but maybe we didn't do a podcast that week or something. I can't remember. Jurassic World Evolution 2 is out. I saw this on my PlayStation store. How's
that? Only a couple of days ago.
I want to play that. I might get that on PC. It's not on Game Pass, is it?
Don't think so.
I don't think so.
I bloody love them games. I love them park management.
Frontier,
yeah, I love that studio. Anyway, useless information to everybody listening. Thanks for listening and thanks for watching. We're going to do a bonus podcast as usual, probably for our patrons. If you support us on Patreon, you get every time there's a podcast, we do a bonus podcast as well, which is kind of off topic. Sometimes it's just a bit more stuff about games. Sometimes it is, I don't know, movies and boxing recently, but that's there for you if you want to listen to that as well.
It was a lot of boxing last time.
It was, wasn't it? Not that. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
See you soon. Bye.